Committee. Welcome to our press conference here at Chicano Park for May 1st. You have people here who will be sharing with you some of the aspects of the organizing, the importance of May Day, why we need to come out, what we need to celebrate. We have representatives from the working class community throughout the county who hope to let you know why May Day is key and why we need to continue to organize and continue to stand together. It is important to highlight that we stand in the beautiful place of Chicano Park, a place of struggle, a place of history. We just celebrated 51 years of the takeover of Chicano Park last weekend, or about a week ago, and we continue to celebrate it and to hold it close to our sense of unity and sense of struggle. Muy buenos días, mi nombre es Adriana Jasso, yo soy coordinadora del programa de Comité de Amigos aquí en San Diego, y estamos aquí para dar la bienvenida y expresar la importancia del 1 de mayo, reconocer el trabajo de quienes son esenciales para la economía, y nos acompañan hoy voces y caras de personas que estarán dando información sobre lo que va a pasar el 1 de mayo y también sobre las luchas importantes que se han dado en más de un año de una situación de pandemia que continúa específicamente azotando la comunidad trabajadora, la comunidad latina. I'll start with introducing Shanika Lasso, who is an active member of Anak Bayan San Diego. Anak Bayan is an organization that struggles for the dignity and for the recognition of the Filipino people here in San Diego, but also throughout the U.S. We are incredibly honored to have them, not just today, but also to be in community and struggle and organizing and emphasizing the importance of May 1st. So I am incredibly honored to introduce Shanika Lasso.
Thank you so much, Adriana, for that warm introduction. So it is now our second year under the COVID-19 pandemic. Even with Trump out of office, we continue to suffer. Workers face unemployment, health and safety hazards at work, and lack of access to basic needs. Oppressed nationalities, including Filipinos, are disproportionately dying from COVID-19. Thousands of health workers in the U.S. have died, many of whom are Filipino. Biden has not delivered on any of his promises. Instead of funding PPEs for our frontline workers, or clean hospitals, or student debt relief, our U.S. tax dollars are funding U.S. imperialist interests. Before issuing insultingly small stimulus checks, Biden ordered an overseas missile strike on Syria, killing dozens of people and wasting millions of U.S. tax dollars. The Biden administration has also reaffirmed its military interest in the Philippines. Hundreds of millions of our U.S. tax dollars have gone directly to the Philippine National Police and the armed forces of the Philippines. And what is this money doing? In the Philippines, President Rodrigo Duterte has made it clear that being poor is a crime. His focus on military solutions to the pandemic rather than medical and welfare solutions has made it impossible for the masses of working people to survive. Police brutality against the Filipino masses continue. One man was killed for buying a water bottle after curfew. Those who take matters into their own hands to assert the right to necessary relief, including urban poor residents of San Roque and community pantry advocates, are met with harassment, terror tagging, and arrest. Human rights activists, land defenders, and labor organizers are being tortured, arrested, and even killed in the Philippines. Today we celebrate May 1st, or International Workers' Day, with great revolutionary hope. April 28th also marked Workers' Memorial Day and marks a month since the killing of Comandante Kilusong Mayo Uno Vice Chair and Kilusong Mayo Uno National Council Member Dan E. Miguel. Kilusong Mayo Uno is the largest trade union in the Philippines and also called for a stop to terror tagging and trade union repression, which has led to the deaths of labor leaders Carlito Barrio, Manny Asuncion, and Danny Miguel, all of whom were killed in the midst of Duterte's militarist lockdown. As the murders and arrests and trumped-up charges against trade union leaders, workers, and peasants intensify, our call for justice grows ever stronger. We urge our community and allies to demand our U.S. representatives pass the Philippine Human Rights Act, which would end all U.S. security assistance to the Philippine police and military until the human rights violations stop. We call on our kababayan to organize and take action in every way we can to end Duterte's dictatorship. We cannot stay idle as illegal arrests, torture, and extrajudicial killings happen every week. We cannot separate the horrifying conditions of the Filipino working class from the hold that U.S. imperialism holds on our homeland. The pandemic has laid bare the contradictions of imperialism. Our society depends on the labor of the working class and poor, yet the wealth that they generate remain in the hands of the ruling elite. In the face of this global crisis, we are determined to build the anti-imperialist movement more resolutely than ever before, and further advance the national democratic movement in the Philippines as their biggest contribution to the downfall of imperialism. Thank you.
Thank you, Shanika, for bringing about the international aspect of May 1st. Gracias, compañera, por retomar el sentido internacionalista del 1 de mayo. Ahora, now we have compañera Alejandra Ramos, representative of Unión del Barrio, an active member of the North County part of San Diego, to share with you why May 1st is key and why we're having also an event in the North County. Compañera Alejandra.
Buenas tardes, voy a empezar en español. Mi nombre es Alejandra Ramos y soy militante de Unión del Barrio. Este 1 de mayo estaremos teniendo una caravana que saldrá una de aquí, desde San Diego, y una de Escondido. Pero sabemos que las familias en el condado norte siguen siendo atacadas, las familias trabajadoras siguen siendo perseguidas por la migra al día con día. Pandemia o no, nuestras familias siguen siendo detenidas, separadas y llevadas a centros de concentración que sabemos están infestados de COVID-19. Nuestras familias trabajadoras no han tenido acceso adecuado de salud para protegerse. Muchas de las personas que proveen la comida de todos los días, que hacen la limpieza en los lugares, son personas de nuestra comunidad, son razas, son personas que tienen que salir todos los días y exponerse a este virus que ha matado a tanta gente. Entonces es importante que tomemos conciencia y exijamos un acceso digno a recursos de salud, un acceso digno a viviendas, un acceso digno a educación segura para nuestros hijos y hijas, y mantener bien claro que 1 de mayo, como trabajadores y trabajadoras, llamamos a organizarnos, a unirnos y seguir luchando por los derechos que son de nosotros en esta tierra, porque nosotros no somos ilegales y el terror de la migra nos sigue arrancando de nuestras familias. My name is Alejandra, and I'm a member of Unión del Barrio. We want to invite everybody to participate in the caravans, either from here in Chicano Park or from the North County part that is going to be held. Is going to be going out from Escondido at Washington Park. We want to just make it very clear that working class families, with papers or without papers, have the right to not be fearful of the constant prosecution by ICE agents that we continue to see in the North County area. We've had several encounters this morning as we were patrolling. We had another encounter with Border Patrol. Working class families are going out there and continuing to work on the front lines, picking food, every day, continuing to clean. They're in charge of cleaning areas, hospitals, schools, providing food. for the people here in our communities. We have the right to work without being a fear. We have the right to demand protections for our health, for our families. We're on the front lines exposing ourselves to a virus that we might have to bring home, because a lot of us are considered essential workers. However, the very basic human rights of housing, healthcare, and education are not secured for our families. So as working class people, we demand for everyone to take consciousness and organize and come out and demand those rights that are rightly ours. As working class people, these are our communities and we deserve to live without fear.
Aquí estamos aquí en el Parque Chicano con una conferencia de prensa y vamos a continuar aquí en apoyo a 1 de mayo, en preparación del 1 de mayo.
Now we have Evan Apodaca from the Freedom Mall San Diego Coalition. Ahora tenemos a Evan Apodaca de la coalición Libérenlos a Todos aquí en San Diego.
Hello, I'm representing an organization called Freedom Mall. We are a coalition of abolitionists who work to affirm migration as a human right. And right now we are focusing on shutting down the Otay Mesa Detention Center, which is right here in our own backyard. It is a cruel form of punishment for asylum seekers, where people are left hungry, sent to solitary confinement for weeks at a time. When asylum seekers in detention have gotten COVID-19, they are given no proper medical attention. Detention centers are where people are either made sick and sometimes die while in detention. And speaking of May Day, within the detention center, asylum seekers are paid $1 a day for their labor, while Core Civic, the owner of Otay Mesa Detention Center, is given federal money for each individual migrant detainee. And so this is why we are working to shut down this detention center. And while we start here locally with OMDC, we don't end here, because we know that all prisons are forms of oppression, racist institutions. And so we start here, but we do not end here. And so that's why we say free them all. Thank you.
Thank you, Evan. Gracias, Evan. Ahora presento a la compañera Rosalba Hernández. Rosalba Hernández es trabajadora, madre de familia, miembro de nuestra comunidad y viene a ilustrar lo que ha sido ya más de un año del efecto de la pandemia en los trabajadores esenciales, las trabajadoras esenciales. Rosalba hablará en español y Karen nos va a hacer el favor de interpretarnos. Karen también es parte de la organización, de la coordinación del 1 de mayo de este año y de otros años también nos ha apoyado y ha sido una de las organizadoras principales en el trabajo de coordinación. Rosalba will speak in Spanish, will address in Spanish, and Karen will help us interpret for Rosalba.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Rosalba Hernández. Yo, como muchas personas aquí en este país, soy una trabajadora esencial que tiene la necesidad de trabajar día a día exponiendo mi salud y la de mi familia, puesto que tenemos que salir a buscar sustento para nuestro hogar. Desafortunadamente, en este tiempo de crisis causado por la pandemia, hemos sido afectados, puesto que desde un principio perdimos nuestros empleos y ahora tenemos que salir a buscar trabajos que mucha gente con mejor oportunidad de trabajar no lo hace por no arriesgar su vida. Pero desafortunadamente nosotros como comunidad hispana tenemos que salir hoy, 29 de abril, a escasos 2 días del 1 de mayo, Día del Trabajador. Vengo a invitarlos a que alcemos la voz, que nos unamos como la comunidad trabajadora que somos, que demostremos que sin nosotros no hay economía, no hay bienestar para las familias. Alcemos la voz exigiendo nuestros derechos como trabajadores que somos, que nos brinden mejor oportunidad para nuestras familias, que tengamos derecho, el mejor trato para nuestra salud en caso de enfermedad, que tengamos mejores salarios, que vean que sin nosotros este país no crecerá. Exijamos mejores oportunidades para nosotros. Yo, como muchos trabajadores esenciales, alzaré mi voz hoy y este 1 de mayo para hacer valer mis derechos. Gracias. ¡Que vivan los trabajadores!
¡Que vivan!
Good morning. My name is Rosal Hernandez. Like many people in this country, I am an essential worker that has the necessity of going out to work every day, exposing my health and that of my family in order to make a living. Unfortunately, in these times of crisis caused by the pandemic, we have been impacted with the loss of our jobs. We are forced to seek new employment, often difficult and dangerous positions worked by brown communities. Today, April 29th, just 2 days from May 1st, I am here to invite everyone to join us as we raise our voices in unity as working class communities, because we have kept the economy going and provided essential services to all. We are demanding rights as workers, better treatment and opportunities for our families, such as access to health care and better wages. We must reclaim value in our labor. We have to make our sacrifices and efforts count by demanding better opportunities for all working people and essential workers. I, like many other workers throughout the world, will raise my voice this Saturday, May 1st, to demand workers' rights and invite you all to join us.
Gracias, Rosalba. Gracias, Karen. Thank you to both. Now this concludes the press conference for May Day. The main thing is to keep in mind that we'll be starting with the program at 10 a.m. here at the same place on Saturday. Then we'll have the caravan at around 11 a.m. The other location in Escondido will begin their program at 1:30. Visit us on Facebook, find out more information on the flyer. We'll be sending a press release again to emphasize the specifics for the day's event on Saturday. Concluimos entonces el aspecto de la conferencia de prensa, y si gustan hablar con una de las personas, if you do want to do one-on-ones, please just let us know. Thank you so much for coming, and long live May Day, and let's keep going with the recognition and the dignity and health care for everyone. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Esto concluye la conferencia de prensa. Aquí van a continuar. ¿Dónde va a ir? ¿Cuáles son? La pregunta, ¿qué es lo que, a dónde va a salir la caravana? ¿Cuáles son los puntos de
understanding and recognizing the importance of the space as a struggle, as uniting working class people. We'll be going to the convention center, by the convention center, where we know migrant children are being sheltered, hoping and demanding for them to be reunited with their families. Then we're going to be going to the Hyatt, where there's a struggle happening with union workers. We're also going to be going to the hotel, the Omni Hotel, where there's also the need to renew their contracts. Then we're going to be going to a couple of other locations, including a hospital. We're also going to be going to the headquarters of San Diego Police Department to demand the Otay facility, and that's where the caravan will be concluding. And as Evan mentioned, the situation there at the facility is, the demand is to free them all.
And then tell me why it's so important that it's coincides with May Day. I mean, what May Day stands for, why it's so important to do this on May Day.
So as it was stated earlier, May Day is a celebration that is internationally known for being Workers' Day. We know that for many years, the history of the importance of May Day in the U.S. was erased, was taken away from the history books, from the memory of people, because it was in May Day in 1848 that workers in the East Coast struggled and were killed as a result of their efforts to unify and for better wages and for a dignified existence. In the early 2000s, through the immigration marches that took place in 2005, 2006, May Day was recovered as an important day to celebrate and to uphold and to recognize. May Day is celebrated throughout the world. We will see marches and we will see manifestations taking place everywhere where workers are unified and where workers struggle for better quality of life.
And is that the point you're trying to get across to elected officials, just to highlight the struggle?
So some of the demands you can see displayed behind us. We're holding some of us. We are affirming that workers are essential, and that for almost a year or over a year of COVID-19, we have seen the working class people most affected. The lack of health access, the lack of economic safety for families has had an impact in the working class communities. So the messages and the demands that you see displayed are holding some of them. You see some in the background. And on Saturday, you also get a chance to hear a program with a message of what the demands are.
Thank you.
Entonces esto concluye la conferencia de prensa aquí desde el Parque Chicano, desde la tierra mía. La tierra es de quien la trabaja, y nuestra comunidad de la clase trabajadora es el que construyó y crea toda la riqueza. Este parque es producto de la unidad de la clase trabajadora de aquí de Barrio Logan, de San Diego, y pues vamos a celebrar el Día Internacional de los y las Trabajadoras, denunciando la crisis económica provocada o profundizada por esta pandemia. Y pues el Día Internacional de los Trabajadores, salimos desde el Parque Chicano a las 11 de la mañana. Es la invitación: que viva la clase trabajadora.